Hey guys, it's the Exodia Duelist today, and today I'm trying to showcase a deck called Ritual Exodia, or it's what I call Ritual Exodia. Let's go just take a look at the deck list. So we're going to be playing this in ranked today, and I'll be showing this deck list and how it works, and why I think it's probably the best version of Exodia in this actual, in the actual meta with, stuff like uh, Dark Pepe, whatever, Armageddon Knight, and all that jazz, Cosmo, and that kind of stuff. And so it's pretty simple. We have Gale Dogra, which you might not know what this does. So it pays 3,000 life points to send one monster from your extra deck to your graveyard. And oh, we got a little text there, but okay. And what's important about this is that it can send Herald of the Arclight, which, if many of you played in the Necros format, are very familiar with this card. What you're using it, you're going to use this effect to add one ritual monster, ritual spell card from your deck to your hand. And you're going to dump two of these, pay 6,000 life points, and you're going to get Necros of Valkyris and Advanced Ritual Art. And Advanced Ritual Art lets you send normal monsters from your deck to your graveyard to summon equal to the level of the ritual monster you're trying to summon. And we use Valkyris because he lets us draw cards, and he's got a high level too, right? So that works out just perfectly for us. So you can send the four pieces and some of these dragon normal tuners, and what we can do is we can get them back into our hand with a lot of different methods, like through Brilliant Fusion, which actually made this deck viable, I think, and cards of consonance. So yeah, we can. And sorry, Dark Factory Max Reduction. We can use our draw engine, cards of consonance, to keep cycling through our deck. Okay, so I wish I could say I made this deck, but unfortunately I didn't. I just modified it. I think I saw it on House of Champions. Saw a guy named OTK Central on Duel Network do this kind of thing. And what you're really gonna want to do is you're gonna want to sorry, that's not what I said. What he did was kind of interesting, but I didn't like the build very much. He ran Magical Mallet instead of Hand Destruction. And he ran a third Galaxy Serpent, which is not terrible, actually. It's fine. You sometimes will have a problem where you would really want a third Galaxy Serpent, but I feel like in those games, you probably just lost anyway if you want a third Galaxy Serpent. So I stuck with two. And the reason why I ran Hand Destruction, this is actually my best choice, I think. He ran 3 Into the Void. I didn't run into the sorry. Let me start talking. I always get off on a tangent. So Hand Destruction over Magical Mallet. You can only use Brilliant Fusion once per turn, and so the other two Brilliant Fusions that you're going to draw are just going to be completely dead, along with extra Gale Dogras and Insect Imitations. If you do use one to get your Gale Dogra, because you have a lot of level 1s, so you can tutor out the Gale Dogra pretty easily, which is why I think this is probably the best build of Exodia, because Library Exodia is pretty consistent too, but you basically have 6 Gale Dogras, although Insect Imitation doesn't really count as a 6 because you need a level 1, but it does help with the consistency a lot. Anyway, so the point is you're gonna have a lot of dead cards. This is supposed to kill them in one turn, right? You're not trying to wait a turn. At most two, and so you need to get them on the first turn. And Magical Mallet, what it does is it puts cards that are not going to help you get to your goal of finding the head of Exodia. Because remember, getting the 4 pieces in your hand is going to be pretty easy when you dump them all and just recur them back. But getting the head is the hard part because the head is an effect monster. So you're just trying to turbo through your deck to find one card basically. But having using Magical Mallet to shuffle back stuff like Brilliant Fusion and Insect Imitation and Gale Dogra is it's just useless because there's a good chance you'll just draw it again, right? As your deck thins out, right? There's only one Exodia ahead, and there's a lot of extra junk. One Day of Peace. I ran One Day of Peace in Chicken Game over Into the Void because I just felt like look, if you draw One Day of Peace, right, you actually have 2 turns to do the OTK. Like sometimes you'll fail and you won't find the head, and you just need 1 extra draw. One Day of Peace gives you this 1 extra turn to get the extra draw, whereas Into the Void, you're committing all in to the combo, and I don't like that. I also added Advanced Draw because I thought, look, I need pluses, right? Unlike Royal Magic Library, this deck doesn't plus because Royal Magic Library, you draw 1 every 3 spells, right? So it doesn't plus as well as Royal Magic Library. So I said, okay, I needed 2 Advanced Draws because I felt you're always going with the best case scenario here because the best case scenario happens a lot more often. Sometimes you have to discard an extra Advanced Draw. And you're going to use, because Valk is low, way more than 8, and Brilliant Fusion summons these two monsters that are they basically let you dump 3 Gem Knights or 2 Gem Knights, and then Seraph Knight lets you dump 1, but it's pretty bad. If you're going to use Seraph Knight, you're in trouble. And that's another argument for running a 3rd Galaxy Serpent, because you need to dump a light to use Seraph Knight. So that's another. I mean, you could try a test with the 3rd Galaxy Serpent. I might cut an Advanced Draw if you're going to test a 3rd Galaxy Serpent. And basically, you're using Advanced Draw to tribute off the Valkyris and the Zirconia. Or the Brilliant Diamond. And you have to be careful about this, because Valkyris is a lot more efficient if he uses himself. So you want to use like the Gale Dogger that you have on the field, because that's literally useless. And something like another Gale Dogger or a Lazuli in your hand, because Advanced Draw is really important in this deck, and it helps you plus a lot. And you'll see hopefully later if I get the combo off. So yeah, that's all there is, I think, to really explain with the deck. Lazuli, when it's dumped, it just adds a normal monster back. The rest of these cards are pretty self-explanatory. You can only run 1 chicken game, because if you're paying 6,000 life points on the first turn, you can only pay 1,000 once more. So that kind of hurts the consistency of this deck a little bit. And so yeah, let's give it a go here. We're gonna take it to ranked, so I'll see you guys in a little bit.